My Tekashi video is being rolled out.
Yeah.
Clip by clip. By the way, you're the reason why I decided to do this interview.
Yeah,
because
good.
Tekashi was asking for a bag that I'd never paid before. It was the most I ever paid for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
It was more than what Marlon Wayans was asking for, right? Minus the 30% on the back end. Tekashi wasn't doing all that nonsense. But, he asked for a big bag.
Bro, I wonder how much he was charging, bro.
First, it fell apart because he basically wanted me to pay the taxes on it. And I said, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay this plus the taxes. I could take the taxes out and give you what's left. He didn't want to do that. I'm like, all right, so we're not going to do it. But then, his hearing was coming up, and then the Young Thug snitching thing came up, and they reached back and said, no, we want to do it. We'll sign the W-9. We'll do everything above board and so forth, right? So we decided to do it. I gave him the bag, and you were right. He's like, yo, this is going to be a good investment. This is going to be a huge interview. And it's turning out to be a huge interview.
I think it's going to be the biggest interview this year.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, bro, it's just crazy how 6ix9ine pulls Max face. It's just crazy how much numbers 6ix9ine pulls, bro. Like he's not even coming in with new music. He did the whole Spanish music stuff, like kind of in that world, and people would probably just forgot about him a little bit. And now I feel like he's just trying to get back into the rap scene. And he's just getting everyone's attention, maybe new people that didn't know about him, maybe just like people are trying to build a new perspective on him. I don't know, but like it's just crazy, bro. Like Breakfast Club interview, biggest interview. This one's gonna be a big interview. There's probably others. His 2 Breakfast Clubs were pretty huge, so it's just crazy.
That's easy, and it's turning out to be a huge interview.
I think it's going to be the biggest interview this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's easily going to be the biggest. It might already be the biggest interview. It's at like 4.5. I think it's approaching like 5 million combined views already, and we're only like maybe a third, 40% into it. We still have a lot. And we still haven't dropped the full interview. So it was an interesting interview, man. And I got to say, this is the first time that me and Tekashi really, we ran into each other once and had like a little 30-second conversation. But this is the first time we really sat down. I was at his home in Florida. Very gracious, very professional, did exactly what he promised to do. The money situation got worked out. Everyone did exactly what they said they were going to do. There was no bullshit. There was no underhanded from any kind of situation. And now me and him have a relationship, and now we talk on a regular basis. And he was like, no, man, you can't put out all that. You got to do this. I'm like, Tekashi, trust me. Like, I know what I'm doing with my audience. And he's seen it.
Damn, bro, it's just wild, bro. Like, I know that Vlad didn't really mess with 6ix9ine, and at some point maybe he talked bad about him, and it's just crazy how they just like now they have a relationship. I mean, because of Act, low-key been waiting for Vlad to interview 6ix9ine. I thought it was never gonna happen.
It's blown up. It's all over TikTok. It's all over Twitter. It's all over IG, and every day everyone's waiting for the next clip.
Yeah, it stretched this moment of the interview, Like, he could have, you drop it all at once, it probably shuts the internet down for a week, right? You do it this at once, it probably shuts the internet down for a week, right? You do it this way, 3 months in, you still talk about this shit.
No, I think he's happy.
No, he is.
I think he's happy with what's happened.
Yes.
And it was a great interview, and we'll see if maybe we'll do another one.
Shit, after you release the Jim Jones part, you better not want to see Jim Jones.
I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think. Because, Billy Addo,
I didn't know you did Foo Banger.
Foo Banger.
No, right. That's actually really interesting, too. Like, he, interviewed all these people that were, if it wasn't for 6ix9ine, he would have interviewed all these people, like Foo Banger, Addo Billy, or Seco Billy, whatever his name is. The Kuda guy, a bunch of people, and now he gets to interview the person that started it,
Foo Banger was another guy that interviewed. Kuda B. So all these pieces, they could be used to create more of a documentary kind of feel to the interview as opposed to just here's a talking head, you know, as well as all the social media footage, the photos that he posted, everything else like that, I think tells a very interesting story. And people are like, oh, well, there's already been that Tekashi documentary on Hulu. Yeah, but...
Nah, that documentary won't do nothing. Trust me.
Yeah.
That documentary is garbage.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
It's never...
I don't think I watched
his
that.
whole life story
from
his perspective.
Nah, the real story, like, shit, even with me hearing it, the real story is like he's telling you it's true. Yo, the dude, he has a song that he and the guy he collaborates with.
Yeah. I know it's this one with the Trife Drew one. I think that was his the album before the album he dropped, like when he got locked up. I really like that song, actually. You know, Gummo, Kuda, Toddy, Fifi, they're all like kind of like, and this one's kind of more like a song that were actually put into like some truth, you know, some real life stuff. It's actually this one, FIFA, not Fifi, FIFA, not like FIFA soccer, but like you guys saw that FIFA feature Gunna, where he talks on real.
Trife Drew really has his song. It's called Stuck in Dubai. Yeah, they went to Dubai. They found out the feds was on him. They found out the driver
that's like it's a completely different song.
I think I said it one time. Yo, 6ix9ine called me one day because the driver hit me up saying he got fired, and I was cool with the driver because when we would be at places, I fired him because I found out he's working with the feds.
Yeah, he was an informant.
Which was right.
He was right. Yeah,
but 6ix9ine went to Dubai. He fills the story out on your podcast when he says, yo, I broke my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I remember him telling me one day, it's like, yo, when he's walking outside, it's like the block was like, just in the scope of one day. It went from regular cars, like, oh, I know that's car up there. Oh, that's so-and-so's car. Mad white vehicles. Just like, it's just like those trucks that you could tell, like, they're surveilling you. And, yeah, like he was kind of getting spooked, and I think he fills it out. I think that's the better documentary because what they're talking about is, we get it. The music is great, and if you follow that arc, cool, and some of the TMZ stories, cool. But you want to find out what does a guy do when he's literally about to be in a mousetrap. I guess I'm pun intended in reality, but.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of these untold stories. So I think, you know, you got pretty much most of them. I would imagine you got most of them because he's going to tell them, which I think the documentaries before, they were always talking about things that all the newsworthy stuff, which was a lot, but this was the best parts of it.
All right, guys, let's watch this video on, I haven't watched NoJumper, a NoJumper video in a cool minute. Like, I don't know, like this guy Adam, like, I mean, I don't know. I just lost interest, honestly.
I know it's probably your biggest interview of the year, the 6ix9ine one. Can we just get a little bit of the background information of what you were thinking? Because I think at one point you said that you wouldn't interview him because you thought he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was saying what everyone else was saying.
Right. We were all. At one point you said that you wouldn't interview him because you thought he was a piece.
I don't know, bro. Adam, I just don't. He doesn't strike me as a good guy. You feel me? Like, I feel like he will just do anything for money type of guy. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong though. I don't know, but
shit.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Ton of Noise, probably your biggest interview of the year. Yeah. So, okay, you've been making a ton of noise, probably your biggest interview of the year. Yeah. The 6ix9ine one. Can we just get a little bit of the background information of what you were thinking? Because I think at one point you said that you wouldn't interview him because you thought he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was saying what everyone else was saying.
Right. We were all kind of caught up in the moment.
Guy have all these bloods around him, and look, I get it, right? I remember when I first started to pop, and I had these various street guys around me, and they would rough people up. That you had this guy that was pushing his weight around, and you know that he didn't grow up with. It's not like Bobby Shmurda, right? The Bobby Shmurda thing kind of makes sense. Even though he wasn't around, he got busted with a bunch of people that were all sincerely his friends, and they all grew up together. Tekashi got these guys later on when he started to pop. They all started to crowd around him, and he was using them to shoot at people, beat people up. All that he admitted on camera. And then he took the stand on all of them, and I wasn't a fan of that. Right?
Mhm.
But time goes on. The interview got offered to me.
Who mentioned it initially?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Well, I have a guy named Mafi who
Right.
does a lot of bookings for me.
Got it.
You probably know who he is
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well, right? So he could, I've been with Mafi for like 10 years in terms of our working relation. I initially said no because the amount of money was too high, right? I never paid this much for an interview. And I was doing academic show.
And you're not going to say how much you paid him?
I'll say this.
I think you should not. So I back that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we don't want everybody to know what's possible.
I'll say this. It was more than Marlon Wayans wanted.
But besides the perpetual revenue percentage
I'll just
split.
leave it just at that.
Okay.
It was more than what Marlon Wayans wanted.
Right.
Right. But in this case, I felt this really was a very serious interview that would really blow up. Whereas a Marlon Wayans interview would just be a cool interview with a known actor / comedian.
And to be fair, 6ix9ine for the last 5 years or whatever has been very much kind of not doing long form interviews, and especially not the kind of interviews that you do, where you go into the depths and details of everything. You know,
what I was gonna do, I knew was gonna be potentially big, but I wasn't gonna do it just because of the price associated with it. And I was doing academic show, and I mentioned it to him as we were just hanging out. Afterwards, he was like, "Yo, man, you should do that shit." Like, yo, you should, that's gonna be the biggest shit. You should do that shit. So I said, all right. So,
of course, Ak would try to convince him.
Without getting into too many details, there was just a problem with logistics of it and some of the business around it.
He didn't have a problem with any of the questioning or anything.
No, we didn't. We never even got. That's never been a problem.
So he never forbid you from anything.
No,
okay, that's interesting.
The only thing, and this part's not out yet. He didn't want to talk too much about the case that he just got sent because he violated his probation. So he didn't want to talk too much. I mean, he talked about it, but he didn't want to say too much about it.
Where the feds raided his house and found coke and meth on a table.
Well, there's that
residue.
I don't know if it was meth. Well, anyways, I think it was pills that had whatever. But there was a whole thing of beating up the guy in the mall.
Yeah, that's
who allegedly threatened him with a gun.
Oh, really? He called him a snitch, but that was part of it. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, it was like, from what he told me on camera, was that the dude called him a snitch or whatever else, and then I guess he flashed his gun, and that's when they, I guess, jumped on him and attacked him, and then he went and reported the incident.
Yeah. So okay,
that's dumb. I think he said this in the interview, right? Like there was a guy at the mall that called 6ix9ine a snitch, showed his gun, the guy, and afterwards he called the cops himself. That's funny.
We agreed. I flew down to Miami. I mean, it was sort of crazy because the day before he had a show in Atlanta, and he decided to drive there and back.
Which I was trying to find.
He had a show
in Atlanta, Miami. I mean, it was sort of crazy because the day before he had a show in Atlanta, and he decided to drive there and back.
Which I was trying to find evidence of him performing a show in Atlanta, and I couldn't find anything from 2025.
That's interesting.
Which I
never thought about that, but yeah.
I just wonder, like, who does 6ix9ine perform with in 2025 in Atlanta? Like, I was just
he performed in Atlanta.
Playing shows, so I was interested when I heard that.
What the heck? Let me see. 6ix9ine performs in Atlanta. Wait, he did, bro. 6ix9ine performed in Atlanta on September 13, 2025 at the El Galaxy Event Center in Austin. Previously, he was advertised to perform at the Atlanta Coliseum in December 14, 2024. Bro, what the heck? That's weird. Let me see if there's any, like, footage. It probably wasn't too good because, like, he would have posted it on his Instagram. It's not lit, right? But, like, I see people posting video clips. Oh, there's another one right here. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, he has his boy Don in the background too with him. Probably his private guard too. Bro, he's wearing the same thing in the Vlad interview. Like, did he do the the interview right after or before? Anyway, I guess he did perform.
Someone's birthday party or something.
Maybe. ChatGPT does not know about any shows that have occurred in 2025 in Atlanta.
I'll ask him though.
Okay.
I'll ask him because we've been talking regularly since.
Oh, he's gonna be a repeat.
No, yeah, he did. 6ix9ine did have a show in Atlanta, confirmed on Google. Showed there's video clips on TikTok of fans posting with his like the same exact outfit that he had on the interview with Vlad.
Guest.
Well, I don't know about that because we've been talking regularly since.
Oh, he's gonna be a repeat guest.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I'm sure there's still more stuff to
we've
ask.
established
A relationship there now.
we've established a real relationship because he was driving back, so the interview didn't start until 1 a.m.
Which I was kind of surprised that you, being 52, had the stamina to stay up till 1 a.m. to start an interview. That's pretty impressive to me.
Stamina to do anything.
No, then
No
he
caffeine,
probably
no
did the interview
stimulants.
after the show.
Damn.
I don't even drink coffee.
That's
You
impressive.
literally never see me drink coffee.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't take drugs outside of weed.
Okay.
So yeah,
No nap?
I may have taken a nap.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Got it.
Possibly. But yeah, it happened at 1 a.m. He drove all the way back. He'd gone off a 12-hour drive. We were actually at his house.
Right.
And his house is not close to Miami. It was like
Oh,
close
interesting.
to 2 hours outside of Miami.
Oh,
I'm not
I
gonna say
didn't know
where it
that.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in a gated community and secure and so
Yeah.
forth. But no, he invited me into the house. We actually got there before he arrived.
Okay.
But he had some people there that kind of let us in, and we set everything, set up and so forth. And he just said, "Do whatever you want to do, like you do you." And yeah, it was like I think about 3.5 hours that we spoke.
Okay.
The final interview, including all the B-roll, probably about 4 hours.
I seen you said you have 69 clips.
Yeah, I was joking a little bit. I think it's maybe
You're like 20 in
close
right
to
now.
40.
40.
I think we're about halfway done, and we're about
40? Okay, because I was tripping, bro. I think I'm on part like 28 or something. So like maybe like 12 more clips. But yeah, 69 clips would have been crazy.
Maybe
You said you have 69 clips.
yeah, I was joking. a little bit. I think it's maybe
You're like 20 in
close
right
to
now.
40.
40.
I think we're
Okay.
about halfway done, and we're about 7 million views combined.
That's
Yeah.
pretty insane. Yeah.
7 million.
So you think this will end up being a profitable exercise?
I think we're close to profitable. I think we're close to break even already. I eyeballed it. I think we're 80% of the way there.
Damn.
What was your read on where it seems like he's at in life? Because at least for me, as somebody who was around him in 2017, 2018, or whatever it was, he's definitely changed a lot. He didn't used to drink. He says that in the interview that he never used to drink.
Oh, that's true.
He was drinking.
Yeah, I know. But now he's drinking. And I'm just like kind of looking at
I think
him like,
after he
damn,
met like Steve will do it, that he started drinking with him, he just kind of like stuck with it.
he seems like he's in a different place in his life where he's maybe partying it up a little bit.
I mean, obviously he was stressed out because
Mm.
I mean, we don't even know what's happening yet because the judge put him on house arrest,
Okay.
but he's still going to be sentenced, so he might end up getting like 2 years.
Mm.
We don't know.
Damn.
So I think he's stressed out about going back to prison.
Yeah.
This was the first time. I mean, we briefly ran into each other at a strip club. I mentioned it in the interview. He doesn't remember it.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
There's no reason for me to make that up.
I mean, that was at the peak of his fame and
Yeah.
success, so I could imagine that almost nobody would be able to like really register with him at that time.
Right. He was meeting everyone like left and right.
That's true.
It was a crazy night. There was
Yeah.
tons of people, but I wouldn't lie about meeting him. Like, I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
All I said was, yeah, we talked for a couple minutes, and that was that. We talked about everything. He didn't duck anything. I think I personally.
That's what I like about like when 6ix9ine does interviews. Like, there's no script. I feel like he's not like, oh, don't ask me about this. Don't ask me about this. Like, it's just like, just come at me with everything you got.
For me, it's the biggest interview. I think it's my interview of the year.
Yeah.
When the dust settles, we'll see how other people take it. But it's getting a lot of views right now.
Yeah, which is interesting because he's like he hasn't really made that many waves over the last couple years, and it's almost like people have really counted him out
True.
in terms of even being.
That's what I thought too. 'Cause, like, I'm like, he hasn't really made music, you know, like nothing popping. You know, he kind of like posts on Instagram here and there. Um, he hasn't really been on tour or anything. So it's like, it's kind of surprising that he's like still doing numbers, bro. Like, it's pretty crazy, honestly. You know, like, yeah, because he's just kind of been low key, you know, like every here and there, like I said, he'll post about certain things about Young Thug and things like that. But, or he'll do like little interviews, you know, with Steiny or like other people, but like he's just kind of been like low on the radar, and like boom, like interview comes out and like it does numbers, like it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
People were interested in, and now with so many other rappers being.
I mean, I feel like because like he hasn't really brought up like the whole, you know, because he went like through the whole Spanish phase, Spanish music, Spanish interviews, whatever, and he hasn't really like came back to the hip hop and like this, um, you know, this area. So it's like he had like the last interview 6ix9ine had talking about like these certain issues and like snitching and like new things is like from the Breakfast Club, right? But that's like that's like 4 or 5 years ago, you know. So that's why I think this is doing numbers, because like people want to know like I guess his perspective now. Like, I don't know.
Snitching and stuff, it seems like people have a renewed interest in him, but I'm curious if that could ever
Yeah, that's what I
translate to
meant.
music, because it feels like people have written off that aspect of his career for sure.
Yeah, he needs to make
you can say
music, bro.
that, but then let's take a look at the numbers.
This is true, yeah.
Let's take a
He's
look.
always done impressive numbers
No,
regardless.
let's take
I know.
He's doing 11.2 million monthly right now
Okay,
on
thank you.
Spotify.
Okay, so the biggest rapper in the world right now is doing 7 times what Tekashi did. I think that's not too bad.
Drake's at
You know what
81.
I mean, I'm clearly he's not close to them,
Right.
But
He hasn't released
that's
music
a
in
big,
forever.
Yeah, he hasn't released
yeah.
music in forever. He really has been out of the news more or less for a while.
Bro needs to drop some new music, bro.
That's a lot.
I really wanted I wanted him to release the one like the Young Thug diss, like with the Itsy Bitsy Spider one. That one looked pretty good. Like, what happened to that?
This was such a fascinating time period in rap that hearing him talk about it is probably always going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm meant.
Stealing the gumbo beef with Trippie Ray's like, yeah, stole that shit. That's what I do. It's like, you know how many memes are like that now?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's funny.
when you ask your friend for your lighter, stole that shit.
Did you get the vibe that he was saying these catchphrases over and over, like when he was saying, they're going to skip this clip, Vlad, they're going to skip this clip. I spit nothing but facts, Vlad. Did that stand
Bro,
out to you
watch
as
every
him
clip, bro.
trying to create viral catchphrases, or him just being so burnt out that he's
Nah,
just
he's
repeating the same thing over
just being
and over?
It's just
repeating.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
felt it was natural. I don't think he even was knowing it was gonna be a moment.
It's just him being him. In fact, I remember after the interview, he was like, "Yo," 'cause I told him how I'm gonna roll it out. He's like, "No, that's gonna be all boring, all the family shit. Nah, this shit not gonna flop." I said, "Let me let me do what I do. Trust me." And he's like, "Oh, I get it now. Oh, now I get it." I'm like, "Yeah, this is a little different than what you're used to."
It's kind of good to know like the background, the context, and like how the interview got made with Vlad and 6ix9ine. But yeah, that's it. Peace.